I kind of wonder what it would be like to have the kind of family and relationships that other people have, to be treated with more fucking human decency and kindness, with fucking love and respect. God, what would that be like? Hell, it would probably scare me. Because I'm like, I don't know, you ever watch YouTube videos of these rescue dogs and stuff? People find some stray dog lives on the street and go to rescue it. And the dog is so terrified of people, been so abused and mistreated that just cowering, shivering in terror when a person tries to be nice to it, because he feels like it's a trap, you know? That's kind of the way I feel. I get terrified and I kind of sabotage myself. I sabotage myself and sabotage my relationships because I'm so used to being fucking abused and hurt that when someone treats me with kindness, I'm just waiting for the other shoe to drop. I'm waiting for the trap to be sprung, basically. Oh, man. Because that's what it's been for me, man. My life has been like a series of snares and traps, it feels like the way my dad treats me. He used to Nowadays he's more Jekyll than Hyde for the most part. It's like right out in the open more than it used to be, because I kind of called him out. But what he would do is he'd say some nice stuff to me to gain me to get me to let my guard down. And then the second I'd start talking to him, trying to confide anything in him, that's when he would spring the attack, just tear me down, rip my fucking heart out of my chest and throw it in a blender, basically. God, what I wouldn't give to have a fucking home, to have some kind of love in my life. This one goddamn person that gives a damn about me. But I'm afraid I'd screw it up. Or I'm afraid I'd just be waiting for the other shoe to drop, you know? Because that's what my life has been like, man. Even my mom, honestly. Mostly got nothing but good to say about her. But even she was abusive, honestly. If I'm being completely honest, she was even kind of abusive. And she was very, like, a lot of the time, very distant and cold. And she'd say things sometimes that really, really fucking hurt my feelings. Last Christmas I had with her, she got me a fucking some beer t-shirt and a pair of sweatpants with a bunch of liquor bottles all over it. Like a, cut. I don't think I've ever worn that fucking shirt. It really hurt my feelings. It was like her present was like a cut, an insult, basically. Other people have families that if a person has an addiction problem or something, they meet him somewhere and got a fucking, some dude from a rehab sitting in the living room or something. Hell, I was high as a kite when I was a fucking teenager. Nobody ever fucking tried to help me. The closest I ever got to any kind of help was they'd hand me a AA pamphlet or something. But like I said, AA is fucking basically useless. You hear people talking about how great it is. Oh, yeah, I know people that AA really helps them. It's got a fucking like 98% failure rate, for fuck's sake, man. But it's like every government, everything pushes you. Oh, you should go to a 12-step meeting. Yeah, go to the thing that's basically founded by Luciferians, basically. That's great. That'll help. I thought about going. I've gone before. I've been to AA meetings. Well, there have been times when I was sober for a month. I'd walk into an AA meeting, and the second I get out of there, I go fucking buy beer or something. I head straight to a liquor store, because just sitting in that room, everybody talking about booze for an hour or whatever made me want to drink. That's all it ever fucking did for me. Made me want to drink more than ever. I mean, why is shit like that legal? Why is it even fucking legal? And it's like, oh, this fucking gang, oh, Prohibition was terrible. Prohibition was probably the best fucking thing that ever happened in our country's history. And it was immediately taken back and taken away because I mean, what the hell happened, man? How is it that we have like millions, if not hundreds of millions of people that are involved in like addiction treatment, and yet there's not a single organization or group of people that's trying to pass prohibition or trying to do anything to even get the booze out of the fucking grocery stores and shit. I mean, like I said, man, we literally have a world where there are people that starve to death, and we're using millions of acres of the best farmland to produce a highly addictive poison. And nobody's got boo to say about it. All the fucking mad mothers and all the people who lost family members because their family member had an addiction that killed them. They drank themselves to death. They had to sit and watch them turn yellow and die of organ failure in the hospital, or had to bury them because they wrecked their car or whatever, you know. But nobody's got shit to say about it. Nobody, not a single fucking person talks about prohibition or about, oh, gee, maybe we should put the booze behind a counter somewhere where you can't see, you know. Maybe we shouldn't put fucking cartoon characters and unicorns on the fucking cans to advertise to children. Maybe we shouldn't have alcohol in every goddamn TV show and movie. Maybe we shouldn't make it look fucking luxurious and wonderful. Maybe we shouldn't let them advertise booze on fucking YouTube and on television. No. Nobody fucking has shit to say about that. You got multi-billion-dollar fucking global corporations, super powerful, not just AA but others, with so many millions, some with billions of dollars, tons and tons of political clout and power. But nobody says one fucking word about anything, to do anything about the fucking massive plague and epidemic of fucking alcohol addiction, and the way that it's shoved down our fucking throat, man. Me and millions of other people are being fucking poisoned to death by our own fucking neighbors and our own fucking families, basically. And nobody has shit to say about it. No, seriously. Go look it up. Look up alcohol. Look up ban alcohol or you know, anything like that. There's nothing. The temperance movement is like completely gone from the face of the earth, basically. We got a bigger fucking problem than ever. But nobody seems to notice, nobody seems to care. God. You know what really hurts is living in this world feeling that nobody cares about you. Nobody cares if you live or die. Nobody lift a finger to offer you any real help. Not hardly anyone. Is there not one iota of real, true love in this world? God. I've got to get out of this fucking society, out of this modern civilization. I like to live off grid, but I don't even think I hardly have enough money left to do it anymore. I did before. I should have done it in the first place. I thought about it, but I just never did it. I didn't want to just go be alone, you know? That's the thing. I'd kind of like to just wander off into the forest and build a cabin and live. But I don't know where the heck I could even go or how deep out in the forest I could even go, you know? Is there anywhere where you can get away from the interference of other people? Fucking wanting to bully you and push you around and steal from you and hurt you? Is there anywhere in this world you can even go? You gotta have money to live in this world, man. And nothing's free. You gotta spend your whole fucking life chasing paper. Or die broke and homeless. Basically. I wish I could just win the fucking lottery, you know? Doesn't everybody, I guess. I mean, it would save my life. That's what it would do. You hear people put out these contests. What would you do if you won? People are like, I'd buy a new boat. I'd buy this. I'd buy that. I'd buy a big pickup truck and go on vacation. Yay. I'd have a fucking home and actually be able to live instead of slowly dying. That's what I'd do. I'd grow a big, huge fucking garden, and I'd probably buy some land and start a whole like yurt village or something, so that to give free housing to the fucking poverty stricken and the homeless. That's what I'd fucking do. I'd help as many fucking people as I could. And I'd have something positive to do with my life. I'd have a piece of land and I'd walk around in the forest and I'd grow a big food forest garden. And I'd grow all sorts of varieties of plants. I'd have one of the most beautiful gardens in the world. That's what I'd do. That's what I'd fucking do. But without some kind of fucking miracle, it looks like I'm just destined to die broken alone. I don't know. I hope not. But it seems like nothing I try ever works, you know? I thought about opening a retail store or something, but now it's like probably too late. You had the idea too fucking late. Plus, there's so much fucking shit that goes into it. You know, there's a lot of fucking stuff that I don't know. What I do know is I know where to get, how to get tons of inventory for super cheap, with where there would be like a huge profit margin, you know. But I don't know about all the licensing and the fees and the taxes and so on and so forth. I don't know about that shit. I'm not good at getting shit sold. It's like there's almost a supernatural force that like stops me from fucking getting things sold. And then every now and then God delivers someone that will throw me a bone, kind of, you know? Pray and pray and pray and pray and pray and just pray my ass off, and maybe I get something sold one day and someone shows that stands out from all the rest, seem, you know, like an angel's been sent to me and they buy something. But still, I never get as much money as what the things are worth, you know. End up having to sell something for $150 when it's worth fucking $800 or $900 or something. End up having to, you know, like I sold those art prints that I found at a yard sale for $700. I only paid $5 for them, so it was a good profit. But they were worth $7,000. You know, it's a story of my fucking life, man. You know, like I see this show, like antique. What's that show called? American Pickers or whatever. I would be excellent at finding stuff like they do. Excellent. Like that's a talent that I have. That's something that just comes naturally to me. I have impeccable taste in just about everything. Like, no, seriously. I mean, no, in everything, man. I know art, I know antiques, I know clothing. I can I can spot a great deal a mile away, dude. I can walk into a thrift store and see a painting for sale for $5, and I know that that painting is worth $5,000 or something. You know, I just know. Of course, I don't know who the fuck's gonna buy it though. I don't know who. I could get something that's worth. I could find a fucking, you know, multi-million-dollar Stradivarius at a yard sale or some shit, right? But I'd probably never be able to get it sold. uh, that's the way my luck goes, man. I bought a $5,000 suit for $20 at a fucking thrift store. I tried to sell that thing for years. I had it listed for sale for like $100, and I couldn't even get that sold for $100. A $5,000 fucking suit, man. That's how my fucking luck goes. That's how my fucking life goes. That's the, you know. I have a fucking gold watch. That was my grandpa's. Where I tried to sell that one time. People kept trying to offer me $50 and shit. They just wanted to break it down and melt it for the gold. Fucking asshole. That's the way my life goes, man. That's what it's like. That's what it's like being me, man. And people don't understand. People have no fucking comprehension. Because they don't go through the shit that I go through. They don't experience things like I do. There's nothing I can say to explain it to them to make people understand. I just think, oh, that can't be right. Well, it ain't fucking right, but it's my goddamn life. That's what I go through, man. No, I'm telling you, man, I have a great eye for antiques and just anything of value. I can spot. I could go to a thrift store or a fucking yard sale and find shit super cheap that is worth buttloads of money. But what I can't do is get it fucking sold for what anywhere near what it's worth. You know? I can find tons of shit that, like, I don't, like, for instance, I ordered this arcade emulator thing, right? This is just an example, right? and I got it for like $12. They used to sell those at GameStop for like $60. You know, there's tons of shit like that, man. I can find tons and tons of things, and I can trace them back to like where they originate from and get them for like super low wholesale prices. You know, anything I fucking want, dude. I can get super cheap flasks, cigarette cases, game consoles, fucking tons of fucking cool shit, art, you know, paintings, tapestries, everything you could fucking imagine. Coolest fucking tons of cool shit, you know. For super cheap. I don't think you can see me try to fucking sell anything though. Takes me forever to get anything sold. I posted like, I don't know, half a dozen things so far on eBay. I should have posted more stuff up by now. I just got distracted. I get discouraged because I posted the shit up and then I kind of got distracted, and a week, you know, days go by, weeks go by, nothing sells, you know. Other people put something up on eBay, it's sold in 5 fucking minutes. I put something up on eBay for cheaper than, you know, damn near anyone. It's like one of the lowest priced, you know. I have to price things like lower than everybody else, and then still nobody fucking buys anything from me. That's the way it goes, man. That's the way it fucking goes in my life, man. When I say I have impeccable taste, I mean I have the kind of fucking like cultured taste that you could, when it comes to like old stuff, antiques and shit. Like I know the kind of stuff that like like an aristocrat from the fucking 17 or 1800s or something. Like I know like I can walk into a store and I can spot the best cigar in the entire fucking cigar rack. I know exactly what it is just by looking at it. I know what the best goddamn beers are. I know the best fucking wine. I know the best of the cheap shit and the best of the fucking expensive shit. You know, best of the best. I know the best fucking, the finest art, the finest clothing, antiques. I know the shit, you know. I know architecture. I know tons and tons of shit, man. Quality stuff, you know. I know the finest foods, the finest wines, the finest cheese, the finest, you know, the finest of everything. I know about it. You know. Most people, if they walk into a store, there's a $5,000 suit on a rack next to a bunch of $50 and $100 suits. They wouldn't know the fucking difference. I do. Immediately. I could spot it from a mile away. I could spot it from all the way across the store. Shit, you know. I can spot a pair of shoes that's used sitting on a rack at a fucking thrift store for sale for $2 or $3. I'm like, shit, that's a $700 pair of shoes. I know it. I know the difference between a $20 pair of fucking Walmart dress shoes and a $700 pair of fucking shoes. I know the difference between, you know. I mean, I can get all kinds of shit for super cheap. I can get fucking rings that are like cubic zirconium that look like fucking. I can get like fake diamond rings, fake silver, gold. I get so much. Like, I know about tons and tons and tons of shit. You have no idea. But to try and get anything sold, it's like impossible for me. Nobody fucking won't buy any goddamn thing from me. I'm just, my whole fucking life, I just get like screwed over left and right, you know. Even as a kid, like in church, you know. Even the church, the preschool teacher, one of the most, you know, the nicest, sweetest woman I ever knew. Mrs. Hearn used to babysit me when I was a kid. And I went to Sunday school. I went to church a couple times a week, and then my family stopped going. This is just one example of like the sort of shit that goes on, right? They took me out of church, and then a bunch of weird stuff like haunting poltergeist level shit was going on in the fucking house. And I go to school like a few days or a week later after they took me out of Sunday school. And Mrs. Hearn shows up at the school and gathers all the other kids that are in Sunday school and gives them a fucking good sized gold nugget for each of them. But not for me, because I wasn't in Sunday school anymore. My parents just took me out right before she gave out the gold. Yep, none for me. Every other kid that went to her Sunday school, hell, she used to babysit me. You know? I was a nice kid. But when it comes time to hand out the gold, I get left out, you know? That's just an example, you know, of the kind of stuff that goes on in my life. When they were giving out fucking those checks for the COVID fucking hand bailouts or whatever, right? I didn't get that. Everybody else got it, not me, because they filed me on their taxes as a fucking dependent. Even though I bought almost all the fucking food in the house, prepared meals, cleaned the fucking house. I was like a maid and a cook. Bought all the goddamn food in the house, basically, almost all of it. Like 90 fucking % of it. Which of course I had to leave most of it behind when I moved, when I no longer had a home. I've been fucking prepping food for years. I had tons and tons of shit. I had a whole freezer full of fucking pork chops, steaks, chicken, shrimp. I had a box of crab legs, a bag full of freaking crawdads. I had tons of shit, man. Tons of food. Awesome food. Bratwurst, fucking hot dogs, sausage dogs, like good ones, you know. The good ones like Nathan's hot dogs and fucking, Johnsonville brats and just tons of hamburgers and just all kinds of stuff, man. I even had venison. I like venison and buffalo, you know. Actually, I think I cooked up the venison right before we left. I made venison sloppy joes. And I cooked up some pork. I made pork chop roasts a number of times, and I cooked up some crawdads, but I didn't really like the crawdads. I thought they were kind of gross. Kind of. There wasn't. It's too much effort, not enough meat. There's hardly any meat in the damn things. No, they would be good. I didn't do it right. You know, I should have dipped them in. You know, I should have got the meat out of all of them, dipped it in butter. But there's hardly any meat in the things. You know. No, but it's like it's been this way my whole fucking life, right? And it's not just that. It's like well, like if I cook some big meal, spend hours preparing some awesome fucking meal, you know, make pork chops and butter soaked squash and mashed potatoes and gravy and and they take their, cut up everything and bring them plates, and people hardly ever even say thank you. But then my sister would show up once or twice a year on the holidays, and she'd cook the meal for the holidays. She'd take up the kitchen, and I didn't get to ever prepare a meal for the fucking holidays because I was just basically in the way. Because she'd take over the kitchen, and everyone would say, "Oh, it's so good, thanks, Christy. Oh, you're such a great cook." No one ever said shit to me hardly when I'd prepare something. I barely even get a thank you if I tore out old rotted steps and built new fucking steps on the house, and barely even got a thank you for it. I fucking fixed holes in the floors and stuff. I'd tear up the carpet and tear up the floorboards and put in new floorboards, and be fixing shit around the house. And they almost never even said thank you. Barely. I mean, they might say, "Oh, thanks," but I mean, if I try to even "Oh, can I borrow $5?" after I just done that, they'd be like, "Oh, super put out." Like, who do I think I am trying to borrow $5 after I just fixed the goddamn holes in the floor and built new stairs for the house, and or I climbed up and patched the roof or something. Oh, thanks, but how dare you ask for $5? Right? That's kind of it's always kind of been that way with me. It's like if I do some kind of work, what I do is never fucking valued. Nobody ever. I barely ever even get a thank you for any. I mean, just barely. Everywhere I go, I'm fucking opening doors for people. If I see someone fall down, I'll run over and help them up when nobody else is fucking rushing to their aid. And I actually do a fair amount, somewhat. I mean, to try to help people, but it's almost entirely thankless. In fact, sometimes some of the stuff, like trying to wake people up to what's going on because I care about them, like during the CV-19 sniffles fucking shit that was going on, I was trying to warn my family the whole time, and I'd try and show them all video proof and show them the freaking CDC websites and so on and so forth, and the data and statistics, and I'd be fucking trying to talk to them, and they're just giving me dirty looks, want me to shut the hell up so they can watch their soaps or whatever, No, we're trying to watch Dancing with the Stars. I get screamed at and fucking cussed out for even trying to say anything. Because I'm trying to save their fucking lives. Excuse me. Such a terrible person for trying to save your life. Excuse me very much. God damn. And I have ideas a lot of times for different business ideas and ways to make a career or make a living. And every single time I have a good idea that sounds right to me, that's speaking to me from the heart, I can feel that this is good, this is right, this is a right thing, to do. My dad just cuts me down and shuts me down. Remember when I was thinking of moving in with my dad, I told him, I'd seen that he'd built a picnic table and he's good at it, and he's got a wood shop, a shop, and lots of, access to all kinds of good wood and stuff. And I said, hey, I got an idea. Show me how to do that, and I'll start making. We could start making picnic tables and lawn furniture and stuff, and we could sell it. You know, like that table he made. You could probably sell that for $500, $800 or something. We could make a bunch of those and have a make a business out of it. But he just wants me to go flip burgers at McDonald's or something, or shovel shit for a living. You know, and treats me like I'm some lazy piece of shit or something for even suggesting to start a business. I had another business idea I told him about. He just shot me down, told me I was a fucking idiot. Oh, you fucking idiot, get a goddamn job. And then he goes and spends like $500 on some bullshit, you know, pyramid scheme. You know, buys some book about some pyramid scheme and fucking gives that to me. Like, ooh. He wanted me to. Oh yes, it's a. No, it was for some. It was actually some sort of thing about. It was about training for some kind of a job where you like a repo man basically. That's what it was. And I'm sorry, but I think those are some of the like. I think it's a horrible job. You're just going and taking people's shit basically. You know, like a strong arm for the mob or something basically. Kind of, I don't want to have some job where I'm hurting people. But that's what most of the jobs do is that you're just becoming a cog in this machine that's destroying people's lives, you know? You sit behind a counter at fucking Burger King and you whip up burgers and you're selling fucking garbage to people that's fucking killing them, basically, you know? You sit behind a, or you work at some grocery store, you're selling people beer and wine. You're fucking participating in fucking murdering them, basically. Nice job you have there, right? Or you go in the military and or law enforcement, you end up fucking murdering people. And you collect a paycheck for bullying and murdering people. But hey, they'll throw you a fucking parade for that. Shit, man. Meanwhile, the few rare people out there that are actually trying to help the poor and the homeless can't hardly make a dent because there's not enough people in this world that actually care. You ever see the movie They Live? Remember that scene where the homeless had built this little like village? They built shelters and had a shower set up, and they had like a shanty town basically they'd built. And then the SWAT teams come in and they come in with tractors and knock everything over and steal everything and beat everybody and chase them away. That's the way it really is in the world, man. That's the way that poor people and homeless people are treated by the vast majority of people. The vast majority of people are cold, heartless, cruel, wicked fucking bastards, man. It's just. And even the majority of people that are involved in something where they think they're trying to help are some of the least helpful people and doing the absolute least to help people that they possibly can, basically. It's fucking sad, man. I don't know. It hurts, man. I feel just so fucking left out, basically. So isolated and alone, left out. Like I'm cut off from any kind of compassion or decency from most of humanity. I mean, like the guy who runs this motel, right? I've probably paid 30 grand down in this fucking motel so far, probably. Or more. But if I ever run out of money and I can't pay the bill, what do you think he's going to do? You think he's going to say, oh, we've got so much of your money, you can just have this room. You own the room now, it's yours, here. No, he's going to tell me to get the fuck out. Go sleep in your car. Fuck you, pay me. You know?